MongoDB is schemaless, so let's take a look at this kind of scenario. We already have the ingredient, right? We have only one field and one ID field, and then another generated class field by Spring. So let's see, as the business grows and we need more field inside this collection. And let's see, if I save the data in a relational database, then I have to create a new column and then make sure that this column is correctly populated, right, for the previous rows. Because if the column is not nullable, means that you need to set a default value to the existing records, right? Because it's a schema used for. But for MongoDB, you can at any time you can insert a record into any of your document. I mean the fields. They don't need to be exactly the same. So by saying that, like if we we can do it from here directly. We can just create a document, or we can edit this existing document. Okay, so this is a JSON representation of the record. Okay, so even though it looks like a column, like line by line, and also you can do it like a table view, but this record itself, they don't have any schema. Means that they don't need to follow the same pattern. Like you have name, you have class, you have ID. ID is a must. You have to have ID. But let's see if I want to delete a name. Okay, so if I just delete this record, update, it still works, right? So then in this case, this record, it won't have any name field. Okay, it's not like empty. It doesn't even have that field itself. Okay, so if you look at the JSON format, you can see here the field is gone. Okay, which is good and bad at the same time, because if you, let's see, if suddenly our need a new field like called price. Okay, for example, we have an integer, and we just need to give it a getter setter. Okay, to the class, and then we can just start saving it to the database. We don't need to worry about the existing records. Okay, so for example here I can just ingredient.set price and then 1000. Okay, let's just call this banana. Okay, let's just comment out this one and then run the code. Okay, so then go to the database and run this query again. Okay, you can see now we have one more banana. Let me change this to tree view. Okay, so we have one banana field with the price. Okay, this one has apple. This one has nothing. Right? No name, no price. So it's very flexible. The document, they are standalone. They don't have any. They don't have to have anything in common. But the collections purpose is to collect all those similar documents in one group, so that we can do operations in that particular collections, right? So you cannot just do all the document like very, very dynamic. Like it's gonna be very hard for you to query, right? So for example, I want to query everything with the name apple or a banana, then I can find records. But this record probably I'm never gonna find it because it doesn't have anything. So it's all about how you design the data model. But the schemaless is dynamic, is a good thing. So as as long as it doesn't hurt the previous functionalities or queries or records, right? So you can just easily remove and add a new field. It won't have any impact with the overall database like design. So that's also a feature, okay, in MongoDB. You cannot say schemaless is always better than schema. But it's just a feature of MongoDB, and SpringDataJPA can easily achieve that. So you don't need to create any table or schema ahead of time. You just need to change your data model, and according to the model, Spring will convert this into JSON format. Okay, so and then save it to the database. Okay, so this is the schemaless part of MongoDB, and we do this just by using SpringDataJPA. We can just add or remove fields from it. Okay, so and also if you have 3 fields in your document class, but let's see if I want to find all the records out. Okay, so let's just call find all. Okay, it takes no parameter, and then it will find all the 3 records. Okay, so I'll just comment out this and run, and you can see it still can get everything out. But because our class cannot be dynamically add field and remove fields, right? So you can see this name is always there, even though in the database the record's not there. But this field, okay, still there in the class itself. So in this case, it won't give errors or it won't throw exceptions. It's just simply, convert it into something meaningful, okay, in Java, which is a null for the name field, okay? So just keep this in mind. Even though MongoDB is very dynamic, you can just change fields and add and remove fields. But in your Java code, so these fields, because they are bounded to the class field, right? Member parameters, variables here. So they are still there, okay? So that's to say if you have a very diversified fields in your collection, you make sure that all the fields are there, okay, in your class, so that it can hold all the fields of all the document in the same collection. Okay, thanks.